Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Early evening. It is 6:58 p.m. On Sunday evening. I'm vlogging early tonight. And I'm very proud of myself because I parallel parked in this space. And I did like such a fantastic job. I'm so proud of myself. And I was just paying my office rent. I was talking to Melissa earlier. I think that we are going to use my office for podcasting space. I think I'm leaving Broderpool right now, which is where my office is, and it's like there's like people everywhere walking around, and it's like this real artsy area. There's lots of restaurants and bars and stuff. A lot of the like Butler students come here and party on the weekends and stuff because there's all kinds of Butler University. There's all kinds of bars and stuff through here. It's real cute. Here, if I can turn down the street, I'll show you some of my favorite things. But anyway, I think Melissa and I are going to use my office because it's just sitting there. I don't use it. Oh, that's where I wanted to turn. As a podcasting space, which I think will be really, really fun. Whether we do it on video or we just do audio, I think we're gonna use it for that. So, here, I'm gonna like turn this around and you guys can just kind of see what Broderpool looks like for a little bit. This is the Monn Trail that goes all the way, where I'm crossing right now, all the way from south of Indianapolis, all the way to the north of Indianapolis. And then, here, I'll just drive down here a little bit. You guys can see some of the little side streets and stuff. So this is little side streets, and there's like all kinds of stores and restaurants and stuff over here. This Mexican restaurant that we really like is like, I think it's right here. Is this it? Yeah, La Piedad is right here. And you can see there's like people sitting outside on the patio. It's real cute. And there's a store that I love called Rusted Moon. I think it's, where is it? So here's Perk Up, which is a coffee shop, which is real cute. My mom used to love that place. And then Rusted Moon, did they move? Rusted Moon was like, it has like a lot of Patagonia stuff and all kinds of stuff. So then down here, if you keep on going north, are apartments, and then goes to the Broderpool Art League, which they do all kinds of art stuff. It's really cool. And dun, 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 dun. Okay. So here, these are all new like apartments that they built in just the last couple years. So I'm gonna take you down this street right here, which this is Ferguson. This is the street that my old office used to be on. You can see there's like these little houses and stuff. So when my mom was in high school, my mom went to Broderpool High School, all of these were like people's houses they actually lived in. So my mom would she would point to people and she'd say, okay, now so-and-so lived over there. Okay, so here's some, you can see some of the other restaurants and stuff. Fire by the Monn. You can see people are sitting out there. There's a cake bake shop. It must be one street over. Well, I'll take you and I'll show you my old office. You guys are like, Peter, we really don't care about this. I know, but it's fun anyway. Oh, we get to go by my favorite thrift store in the entire world, right here. On the right-hand side, it's called Broderpool Vintage. And this used to be a house goods store next door called Strange Days that they owned as well. So here's my favorite vintage store in the entire world. Broderpool Vintage. You can't really see it, can you? Okay. Let me get the camera settled for a second so I can see what you guys are seeing. Okay. So, turn right here. So right here to the right, this was my old office. It looks nothing like it did when I was there. They redid the entire whole building, but this was my old office. And I used to sit outside, and across the street is Connor's Pub, which I'm not gonna show you because there's like a lot of people sitting out there right now. But it's Connor's Pub, and I used to sit out there and watch all the people go inside. Here's the river. I love this right here. I don't know if this is an office or what it is right here, but I've never seen anybody in it, and I think it's so cute. There's this new pizzeria place that's going in. So these are apartments, and if you go through here, there's a Fresh Time grocery store right to the left, and you can like actually access it from the apartment building, which I think is really cool. I'm gonna take you guys down one more small street because there's this restaurant. It's called Cake Bake, and it's from, I think it's local. There's one here and there's one in Carmel, and you guys, they are absolutely adorable. The cake is like supposedly like this French cake. So it's not like a sugary cake, even though the cakes are absolutely beautiful. If you're real into cakes, you should look up the Cake Bake, Indianapolis. It's very, very cool. And it's one of the most gorgeous places I have ever in my life been, like nature-wise, business-wise. I mean, and the inside of it is absolutely exquisite. We went there for a birthday party, and they had like lemonade with lilac in it and stuff. It was like absolutely incredible. And it's up here. Oh, here it is right here, the Cake Bake. I mean, just look at this place, how cute it is. You can see like on the windows, they have like the Christmas lights and stuff. Now, little unknown fact, hold on a second, let me make sure you guys can still see. When I was a little kid, my dentist was right down this road, and then my mom and I would go to this place, and it was called the Little House, and it was right here in this yellow building, which is now Investments. And after my dentist appointment, we would go there when I was a little kid. This was where my dentist appointment was, right where my dentist office was, right in here. I never liked that dentist. He always scared me. And he had pictures on the wall of Dracula getting his fangs sharpened, and I don't know why, but he was supposed to be for like kids because he was a pediatric dentist. But my mom went to him too, but he was a pediatric dentist. But he had all these like cartoons on the wall, and one of them was of Dracula getting his fangs sharpened, and it always scared me as a kid. I hated it. So now I'm gonna take you, I'm trying to think of what would be the easiest way to take you through like the main part of Broad Ripple. There's probably no easy way. No, I'm not gonna do this the whole video. I'm gonna turn it around in a second. But like on a Sunday like today, Broad Ripple is absolutely, absolutely packed. Well, I think I know what I'm gonna do to take you guys through the main drag. There's like people riding on bikes right in front of me. Oh, people have bikes with baskets and stuff. How cute is that? Where is Rusted Moon? Maybe it's right here to the right. Is this the Rusted Moon? No, Marigold, they moved. Here's a Broad Ripple Brew Pub right here. One of my good friends from high school, her family owns that. Okay. Here, I'm gonna show you the Monn like as we cross it, so you guys can see. People literally walk and run this like every day. Do you see? It's like this, and it goes through the woods. It's like really cool. I shouldn't say this because as soon as I do, it'll happen. But like, I'm really happy that it hasn't gone out of focus yet. So like when I was in high school and college, like none of these apartment buildings were here. This was all just like small little houses and stuff like that. And they've like built this all up. You can see they have this whole building right here. This building right here to my left just went up 2 years ago. Here's, you cross in the Monn right there. The Monn used to be a truck. Now right here, this Snow Shack shaved ice is like world famous in Broad Ripple. Okay, what do I want to show you guys first? Well, can I turn left there? Yeah, I can. So here's the main drag. Right here that's gone now was a bar that Alex and I used to go to quite a bit. It was called 911. And then these are cute little stores. Monn Coffee Shop, which I love. And then Nicey, which are these ice things that people get. And so people just like see, they just walk through here and they get like food and stuff like that and they sit outside. Here's the fire station, which when I was a kid, my mom would bring me to because she knew some of the firemen, and they would let me like climb on the fire engines and stuff like that. 317 barbecue. 317 is because that's our area code. Okay, these restaurants over here are like all restaurants that like we go to. This is Brothers Bar that is like super famous in Bloomington where IU is. And this on a weekend is absolutely jam-packed. And this is like the main drag of Broad Ripple. This used to be the library right here, the Broad Ripple Library, and I used to go there when I was a kid, and then it closed when I was like in middle school, and now they made it into a 3-story bar back in the day called Eden, and I used to go there when I was like 21, 22, before I got sober. And then hold on a second. And then, oh shoot, did I stop it? No. Look how pretty it is tonight. So this is like the main drag of Broad Ripple. This is like where all the restaurants are. Kilroy's, that's in Bloomington too. This is like where all the restaurants are. So when I talk about Broad Ripple, this is like what I mean. They have like all these record shops, tattoo shops, all this kind of stuff. Over here to the left was Hardwick's Tobacco. We're in high school. I think it's still there actually. We used to go there and buy clove cigarettes. It was the only place in Indianapolis you could get clove cigarettes, and it was like right here, and it's now closed. I guess it's, yeah, all these things are closed. So this is another little happening corner over here that they built up just in like the last year. And then if you turn around this corner right here, this is the river, so everything is like on the river right here. You can see. And over here is Basbo's Pizza, where it's locally owned pizza. There's one downtown, there's one in Carmel, and there's one here. This is where Melissa and Alex and Jason and I go and eat, like on a regular basis. And you see this little covered area out here with lights on it? If we come in this summer, we're sitting out there. And then Alex and I love, love, love Thai noodle, and you can sit outside here too. And then right here is Petite Choux. You know, we go to Cafe Patachou on Sundays. So this is the sister store, Petite Choux, with a little outside area. Flatwater restaurant and bar on the canal, which people like are obsessed with. Here's the fire station again. And I'm gonna go this way again. All kinds of funness going on in Broad Ripple tonight. All kinds of people walking their dogs. This Lava right here is like a big hookah restaurant bar. I've actually never been there, but people love it. There's some people playing drums on the corner. Okay, this is a really fun area too. Now, Alex comes here a lot with his girlfriends to this like sushi bar up here. You can sit outside, and then Thieves, this restaurant, and then Seraphim Asian Girl, I don't think he's ever been to. Over here, Union Jack's has been around since my mom was in college, and it's like world famous pizza. Like people die for their pizza. Over here, Alex's friend's dad owns this restaurant. It's called Cholita. It's right here on the corner. And Alex goes there and he says that they have the best spicy margaritas in Indianapolis. So if you're in Indianapolis, you should go to Cholita. It's right here on the corner of Winthrop and Broad Ripple. And so Broad Ripple Avenue that I'm on right now is called Broad Ripple Avenue when you're in Broad Ripple. But when you're not, it's called 62nd Street. And then over here, you can see there's a 3-story office building that I would love to live in. And it has a Chipotle underneath it. Okay. And then this McDonald's has also been here since I was like in high school. We used to go to this one in high school. And then over here is Sun King Beer. Not the one that I went to the other night. And then there's a bunch of stuff in here. Now, coming up on our right is my mother's alma mater, Broad Ripple High School. I'm a Ripple Rocket, a mighty Ripple Rocket, who they say, and I'll tell you, something like that. But anyway, so this is Broad Ripple High School. They're turning them into supposedly like apartments or condos or something, but they've been saying that for like 10 years and they haven't done it yet. But anyway, I think if my mom was still alive, it would really upset her that the school's not like still going and that like she went to school here and stuff. So anyway, this is Broad Ripple High School. This is what it looked like when I was in high school. It's what it looked like when my mom was in high school. They haven't made any changes to it. See, Broad Ripple High School, home of the Rockets. Here you go. It's now since closed down. And it was a magnet school for a while. And I'm sure everybody wants to see this. This will be so happy for you. This is Flannery and Buchanan. This is where my mom's viewing was. My grandma's viewing was there. My aunt's viewing was there. Oh no, my aunt's viewing was at her church. And then as we get at a broader bowl, there's like these little houses. And then to our left up here is, I will show you, the Broad Ripple Park. And right to our left as we pass the entrance is the Bark Park. Right there is the Bark Park, which usually is packed. Oh, there's quite a few people on the other side over there. So that was Broad Ripple. Weren't you so excited that you got to see all that? Okay. Filming by Peter Monn. I thought that was pretty impressive. Okay, so how are you guys doing today? Oh, this is Luciana's, which I think is personally one of the worst restaurants in the entire world, and Melissa and Aaron love it. We've had to go there. And I was like, we went there one day, I was like, this is so gross, I don't like this. But anyway, but weirdly enough, there's a Luciana's by our house, and I like it a lot better. So that's Broad Ripple, and yeah, and that is Old Stomping Grounds. I used to go there a lot when I was in high school. So anyway, what was I going to tell you? Oh yeah, my day. How was my day? Well, last night, after I got done vlogging, I listened to about an hour and a half of my book, Grilled for Murder, which I'm really liking the series, and I think I need to make a retraction on a statement. I'm now kind of like in love with the narrator's voice, and I can't really imagine, the main character's name is Roberta. I can't really imagine her with a different voice. So I'm kind of like, I think it's like the narrator is perfect for her, even though she sounded older to me at the beginning. But like Robbie is kind of like an old soul anyway. And so it really works for the character. And now that I've listened to more of it, I'm like, I really like the narrator. So, so I listened to about an hour and a half of that, excuse me. And then I listened to an episode of Paper Ghosts, which is the true crime podcast that I'm listening to right now. I just talked about this at length in our true crime book club live stream today. I am so confused by this podcast thing. Okay, so I listen to podcasts through Apple Podcasts, and I didn't even know that until Mel just said it on the live. She's like, because people were asking me what I use to listen to it, and she was like, he used Apple Podcasts. So I didn't even know that. So I use Apple Podcasts, and I need some chapstick. I'm drinking my coffee that I got before our live stream. I'll tell you about my day in just a second, but I want to ask, okay, in case somebody knows, and don't put it in the comment section, please. If you know, will you look at my email address underneath there? You can use my business one, whichever one, just email me, because I'm so confused, you guys. I want to go in and listen to like a whole series, but I want to listen to the first one, and then it, like when it's done, it plays the next one. When it's done, it just goes in and plays the next one. I looked it up on Google, and it says that there's this more button at the top, like when you go to the episode, when you go to the podcast, at the top in the corner, there's 3 little dots, which there are, and when you hit it, there's something that you can hit to say play sequentially or something like that. Okay, when I hit those 3 dots, there's no option for that. There's no option for any of that. And I don't know if I'm supposed to be downloading every episode. I don't know if I'm supposed to be following the podcast. But like, if I started just from like the beginning, then it starts with like the last episode, which I want to go to the first episode of season 1 and listen to it and go all the way through. But what I'm having to do now is download an episode, listen to it, and when it's done, go find the next episode, download the next episode, and then play that one. And I know you guys might be like, well, it's not that big of a deal, except for that when I'm driving a lot, like, and I get to the end of a podcast, I don't want to have to pull in somewhere and do that. I just want it to go to the next one. Plus, sometimes I forget, like, what number I'm on and stuff, so it just would make it easier for me, and I know that there has to be a way to do that you can just listen to a podcast from start to finish. Isn't there? Is there some way? Can somebody please let me know? So anyway, and then, it's so funny because Tammy asked, she was saying that she had just listened to, so hey Tammy, how are you? That she had just finished listening to Your Own Backyard at my recommendation, which somebody recommended to me, so thank you for that. Tammy and I both enjoyed it. But she was saying, she was asking like if I listen to just the free ones or if I listen to the ones you have to pay for too. Now what's interesting about that is that last night when I was like looking at one, I can't remember what it was called. But it looked really good. But it said like first month $4.99 something, and I was like, I'm not paying for a podcast when there's all these free podcasts. Why would you do that? Like that doesn't make why are people like paying for podcasts? Like anyway, I don't know. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna listen to the free ones. But I've only seen free ones, so that kind of surprised me when I saw it. And then when Tammy asked me, I thought, it must be what I saw yesterday. Like, that must be one of those podcasts, you know, that you have to pay for. So, I don't know. Why is my brights on? Oh, there. So, I listened to that last night. I came home, and I was, like, wired. I couldn't go to sleep last night. So, maybe because I took a nap last night and slept till 1 or something, 1:30 in the morning or whatever, 1:40. I don't know what time I got up from my nap. It was 1 something, I think. Well, you guys would know because I vlogged last night. My vlog is actually uploading right now. So, when I get home, I will post it. But you won't know that till you watch this. Oh, I'm so funny, aren't I? Anyway, not really. But, so I came home and I was like, I heated up. Alex had like sent home all this food with me that were like leftovers from, he brought like, they had all this leftover food because I guess like half the people came or something like that. So they had all this leftover cheese and egg quiche. Egg. There's always egg and quiche, isn't there? There was leftover, well, I guess maybe there's not for vegan quiche, but there was all this leftover quiche. There's like 2 plates of leftover like home potatoes. They're like potatoes just like cut. They're so good. And there was a piece of cake that was leftover, which I didn't eat because I've still got my sugar cream pie. Oh my God, it's so good. And I got whipped cream to put on it. Oh. And I was like really hungry because I'm listening to this Grilled for Murder, and it's basically all about murder and food because she owns a restaurant. So she's talking, I really wanted a cheese sandwich last night because she made a ham and cheese sandwich, and she cut like big pieces of cheese and put it on there. I thought, oh my God, that sounds so good. So anyway, but I didn't have that, so because I don't have any of it, you know. So this car is passing me and there's I can't get past. Okay. So I made, like, I brought out, well, I didn't make, but I had 2 cold quiches, some potatoes, and a piece of sugar cream pie with, there's like a moth or bug or something in here. It doesn't, no, it's not a moth. Here, baby. Here, baby. I said to the bug, come on, get back to the world. So anyway, and I watched the newest episode. I thought I was like way behind. I was like, something this week made me think I was way behind. But I listened to the newest episode of Only Murders in the Building. Newest episode. I watched the newest episode of Only Murders in the Building and got caught up. It's so good. I love that show so much. And then I went to bed. And I was very tired when I woke up today at 11:30 to go to Alex's work chili dinner. So it was just, it was cute. It was, and I don't know these people because this is the office that Alex is like a new office that he's working with people. He's worked there for a while, but he kind of rotates between these different offices and stuff. And so I didn't know this specific group of people. They were super nice, and the house was gorgeous, and it was so cute. It was like they'd exposed white brick, and it just was really cute. And they had these like doors that were like barn doors inside the house, but like you pulled them closed for like the whole house. The basement was like this really cool cement flooring that they had done. And anyway, it was fun. They were a really nice group of people. It wasn't that many people. It was probably 10 total. And it was supposed to be like a chili cook-off, so each person was supposed to bring chili. My husband brought... on the way, we stopped at the grocery store, and he was like, pull into the grocery store so I can get this, like, take something. So we got like one of those pre-made cheese and salami and ham plates, and took it over there. The cheese was good. I ate some of the cheese. But anyway, but I couldn't participate in the cook-off because all of the chili had meat in it. And it always cracks me up when, like, okay, so when people say, and this woman was so nice, but it cracked me up because she was like, this is like somebody that Alex has worked with for quite some time, and I've like talked to her before and stuff, but not like really like this, like one-on-one. So I was really nervous going into this. I was very proud of myself. I was like, this is something that like 6 years ago I would have been terrified to go into because of my social anxiety. But she was like, oh, I'm really sorry. She's like, she was like, I would have made vegetarian chili if I knew that you were vegetarian. And I was like, oh my God, don't worry about it. I mean, there's 9 other people here, plus there was a bunch of kids. And so she was like, well, you could probably eat it. She's like, it's just got chicken in it. And I'm like, well, no, that's not really how it works. But, so there was like 5 kinds of chili, and then they each were eating like, it was a cute concept. So they like each had red, like those red tumbler plastic cups, and then they would put chili in it, and then they had to like rate each one. It was really cute. So, and then they had like this big box of cookies from some cookie place I've never heard of here before, Triton Cookies or something. I'm gonna go and do a review there because the cookies were beautiful. And so they had cookies and they had hummus and fresh cut vegetables. So I ate my weight in fresh cut vegetables and hummus. I forget how much I love, and it was like homemade hummus too. I forget and I love homemade hummus. My mom back in the day, back way before anybody was really eating hummus on a regular basis, my mom would grind up chickpeas and make her own hummus and, put lemon or whatever into it and stuff. But anyway, somebody made homemade hummus, and then they had like vegetables cut up, and they had red and yellow peppers, which I absolutely love with hummus, and then they had cucumber. And I forget how much I love vegetables in hummus, but especially cucumber dipped in hummus, I love. So, what was I gonna say? So yeah, that was that, and we stayed there for like 2 hours. Towards the end, they went to the basement, and they were playing games. They were playing Jenga and stuff like that, and we didn't play because we were just sitting on the outside like watching, because we had to leave so that I could do the book club at 4 o'clock. So on the way home, Alex I got him his drink, which Alex drinks a Trenta black iced tea, unsweetened, no water. And I wanted something different today. So I got, which I just got like 2 days ago, driving around listening to an audiobook. And I didn't love it then, and I didn't love it today. And I don't know why I keep on getting it. It just seems kind of fallish. I got the iced apple crisp macchiato. I mean, it's not horrible once it's all mixed up, but before then, you can see like all the syrups on the bottom, but before then, it's not great. And I was talking about it in my live stream, and everybody was like, oh, I don't like that, that's bad. I was like, I know it kind of is, but I wanted something exciting. It was so funny because I was talking to Mel when I ordered it, and she goes, that's gross. And I was telling her, I was like, because I made this list, you know? Well, I told you guys about it. I made a list of all the books that I'm going to read for October. Joke, I'm never going to read 12 books this month. I'm already behind. So I was telling her about this list I'd made, and she kind of like started laughing, and Alex is sitting next to me, just kind of shook his head, and I was like, what? And this was when we were in line. It stopped. Anyway, I was talking about, while we were in the line at Starbucks, about making this list, and I was like, well, you know, I made my list of the, what do you call it? Of all the series that I'm reading. And Mel was like, yeah, I kind of love that for you. And I go, see, thank you that you get it, right? Because we're bookish people. If you're a bookish person, you get that. And I said, you know, because like I'll go in there, if I finish a book, I'll like add it to my list. I'll like update my list. But I said to her, like in all sincerity, I said, sometimes I just, when I'm sitting there working, I'll just like bring up my list and just like look at it. It makes me so happy. And Alex started laughing. He was like, you and your lists. I was like, what? He was like, that's so cute that it makes you happy. I was like, it does make me happy. Just to look at like the fact that I'm reading like 17 series. Did you guys remember back in the day? I hated series, you know? And I'm so into that. Every time I do that, I'm afraid that series is going to come up. But I'm so into them now. And, you know, I have lists of the TV shows I'm watching, movies I want to watch. I don't know why. These lists just make me happy. They just make me happy. You know, I've had this overwhelming thought the last couple days. Well, it's not overwhelming, but I've had this thought that's come up several times the last couple days. I'll just be sitting there, like last night when I was sitting there and I was watching Only Murders in the Building, which if you haven't started that yet on Hulu, and you have Hulu, it is so good. I don't know what is wrong with you, why you aren't watching it, but it is so good. So, you know, I was sitting there last night and I had this thought, and then last night when I was driving around listening to my audiobook, because it just makes me so happy, these cozy mysteries, I had the same thought. When I was listening to the podcast the other day, I had the same thought. I was like, you know, when I was at like the baby shower, I had the same thought. I was like, I know all these things are mundane. Listening to audiobooks, watching shows, listening to podcasts, going to a couple's baby shower and seeing friends, driving around with Tanya Jean, getting a fountain pop. I know these things are all so mundane, but like just laying in bed with Alex the other night, you know, and he was like we were looking at TikToks and the dogs were sleeping next to us. I mean, even today, I went up there to say, Alex was looking at TikToks, getting ready to lay down right before I left, and he said, look at Tucker playing with his lady, because Tucker, you know, he's in teeth, so it's hard for him to play with his lady, but he's like learned now how to play with his plush toys without any teeth. And so we were just laying there like looking at him, and I thought, you know, I keep on having this moment, and I know I've talked about it like probably ad nauseum for some people on this channel, but I was like, I have such a blessed life, you know? No, it's not the most exciting life in the entire world, but we do exciting things. We get to travel to some amazing places. We have amazing trips, you know, we have nice things, a nice house, and I just was like, I have a really blessed life. Like, I don't know right now. I mean, sure, I was talking about this last night, like things I want to accomplish. There's 2 or 3 things that are like really important for me to accomplish in my life. But other than that, I'm like, I don't know that there's a ton that I would want for, you know? I just don't think that there is. I feel pretty blessed and pretty content. And I think that's the thing. It's like, you know, sometimes there's like that hangover after coming back from a really good trip, or like after a holiday, or when summer ends, right? It's like, oh, now what? Or, you know, and I haven't really had that recently, because I think it's because I have learned to appreciate my daily life so much and being so content. Like, I haven't thought to myself recently, like, I'm bored. I haven't thought to myself recently, like, I don't like my life, you know? Like, I, every day, feel very content. I don't necessarily feel overjoyed or ecstatic, but I would say most days, I feel really happy and content. And, you know, like, not like, but I do, you know? I have a career that I love to do, you know, with all of the YouTube stuff and filming videos and all of that. I just love it. And getting to interact with you guys and the book clubs and stuff like that. I just love all of it, you know? I love all of it, and I feel extremely blessed. So, there's that. They need to repave this road, is what they need to do. Because it's gross. And Halloween's coming up. Melissa and I talked a lot about our podcast today and our plans for our podcast. So when we have them cemented, we will announce them. But we both agreed that getting the podcast up by Halloween is not going to happen. And so we really, like, the 2 dates we're looking at are Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, and she was like, ooh, I like that. And I was like, well, that's a day that, like, a lot of people are just kind of sitting around decorating and stuff. It might be a good day to, like, release a podcast, you know? Or the beginning of the year. Because I was like, Melissa, I want to, like, have a lot of fun with this. I don't want this to be something that we're, like, forced to do. And she's like, I totally agree. And, she, you know, she's got so much stuff that's going on this month. And so I was like, let's just wait until next month to plan it. I said, I don't want you being stressed about it. And she was like, well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I said, and then we can just sit down and we can really have fun putting it together and what we're going to do. And she was like, yeah, I totally agree. Because, like, originally we were thinking, like, let's do all old horror movies. And then I was like, I said to her today, I said, you know, or the other thing that we could do for a while is cover a lot of the horror movies that are, like, on streaming services, because that's how most people are watching movies, is through, like, Netflix. We could do, like, Malignant on HBO Max. And she's like, oh, that's a good idea. Because to talk about all these horror movies that came out in 75 that you can't get unless you pay $3.99 to watch, unless you're, like, a horror movie aficionado, like, nobody's gonna go and watch those movies or know about those movies, you know? But we might do some episodes like that. And then we also talked about putting at the beginning of our podcast, like, a caveat saying, we are not horror movie experts. We just like watching horror movies. So please do not come for us for, like, things that we do not know about these movies. Oh. But we're excited about it. It's gonna be fun. When we have the exact date that we pick, I will announce it and put it up on Twitter and on the social media for those, but it's coming soon. And we're going to do something fun with, like, the, you call it the premiere episode, inaugural episode, the premiere episode. This is, like, really, for lighting-wise, a bad time to vlog, because outside, you can't see it. It still looks like, I mean, remember how I told you guys that it's, like, the lighting is very bizarre, like, in the car? I don't know if you can see it if I turn it this way. No, it still isn't. But, like, it's pretty dark outside right now for me, but it looks really light for you guys. I don't know where that light is coming from. I don't know where it pulls it for the camera, but it's pretty dark, and so there's no light coming my way, and so it's backlighting me, and that's why you can only see, like, I'm so dark in the car. And so then, do you remember I used to drive with this light on? When it gets a little bit darker, it'll probably be better, but I wanted to vlog. So then we came home and I did a live stream tonight for the book club. It was so fun. We had such a good time. There weren't tons of people in there. We talked about the House of Gucci, but we had like a blast. It just was really, there's, like, you know, 5 or 6 people. There's, like, Bunny and Nikki and Karen and Danielle and some other people that, Stacy, you need a guest next time, girl. I know she watches the vlogs, but that, like, you know, come in there on a regular basis, and it's just really fun to, like, see everybody once a month, and it's just, like, super, super laid back, you know? I love it. I love the book live stream. And so, I did that, and I lit candles everywhere, and I had, I found that, I got it at Meyer, I got these candle waxes that are, like, called Bonfire or something, and they smell so good. They smell really good with the toasted marshmallow, or marshmallow fire, or whatever that one's called, candle from Bath & Body Works, which I burn that at the top of the, by the bedroom, because it smells really good in the bedroom. So anyway, lit all the candles. We also got the toasted marshmallow, or whatever it's called, what do you call it? Wildflowers from Bath & Body Works, you know, the plug-ins. But I haven't plugged them in yet, but I'm really excited. And I have the soap. I'm all ready for the toasted marshmallow this year. So the house is smelling great. Alex put his pajamas on. He was laying in bed with the dogs while he made a little special performance. Well, he danced a little bit for the live stream tonight, but he made a special cameo appearance, special appearance in the live stream. And then he went upstairs and he was like laying down. He hasn't got to rest a lot this weekend, so I'm sure he is exhausted. And then I knew that I needed to take my office rent over. So I was like, I'm gonna go do that, and then I'm gonna listen to my audiobook. And I was like, I might vlog right now. And he was like, okay. And I said, that way I can listen to my audiobook or a podcast later. Because sometimes, like, because I want to lay down a little bit. And if I lay down and then I get up at 10, if I plan to get up at like 10 and I end up getting up at 1, then it'll be so late by the time that I get the vlog done and stuff that I can only listen to the audiobook for an hour. So it was like, and now I'm awake. So, and I only have 1 battery with me, which that's a problem. I should have brought 2. I should probably turn around and go back, and if I want to vlog a little bit more, get another battery. But it hasn't gone to the halfway mark yet, so fingers crossed that it'll keep up tonight. But anyway, I was gonna make videos today, but I was like, by the time I got done, like, and blowing out the candles and getting everything done, and I knew how to take the rent check over, I was like, it's already like almost 6 o'clock. I was like, I think I'm just going to relax today and make videos tomorrow. I did come up with a bunch of things to review though, for the upcoming couple weeks. I went and I looked at a bunch of stuff, and Mel's and Chris, who are this couple, I love them, they're so sweet, that do like food reviews like me. Our channels are like similar in size and get the same amount of views and stuff, and we did a collab together like a year ago or something. They're really nice, and but they can do a lot of food reviews that I can't because they're not vegetarians. But they do a lot of like Krispy Kreme donut reviews, which I wish we had a Krispy Kreme donut here, because I just love their reviews if they do the Krispy Kreme donuts. I love their thumbnails because their thumbnails are always, they're just holding out they're sitting in the car and then they're holding out the food. But I went through theirs because I was like, well, maybe they have some ideas of new stuff that's gone out, because it's hard to find like the new stuff. And I didn't find tons from them, but I found like 3 or 4 things, maybe 3 or 4 things to review. There was like a drink at Taco Bell, and then the Dairy Queen new fall flavors for the Blizzard, which I had been wanting to do for a while now anyway, and I hadn't. So that was like another one that I saw that they had done. I was like, oh, I had been meaning to do that. There was something else. I think I just need to drive around. Plus, I would kind of like to do a few that are not food related. I do have a bark box to do, and I know that it's going to be Halloween themed because I just got an email about like ordering extra toys. You can order extra toys each month on BarkBox, and all of the BarkBox toys were Halloween themed. I will say this about BarkBox, that on their extra toys that you can buy, this was interesting to me. One of them was like a candy corn that had eyes, and I was like, I'm almost positive that Tucker got that last year for Halloween. I'm like, if that's the same candy corn that they had in the box last year, but they're selling it, I mean, if they kept it, I mean, toys aren't obviously going to expire or something, right? But like, I can understand them selling surplus the following year, but I was like, I mean, a lot of people, like, I have subscribed to BarkBox for like 2 years now, right? And I mean, it's really more for me than the dogs. They don't know, but like the themes are so cute, you guys. They're so adorable. But it makes me really miss Pee-Pee. I've really been missing Pee-Pee the last couple days anyway. Yesterday I did a video on my Peter Does Stuff channel, and I talked about how much I'm missing Pee-Pee. Like, I'm missing him like crazy the last couple days. I've just really been thinking about him, and I don't know what it is. I just have really, really been missing Pee-Pee lately. And sometimes I say stuff to Alex about it, and sometimes I don't, because like Alex, if I looked at Alex and I said, like, I'm really missing Pee-Pee today, like, he immediately begins crying, and it's just so hard, it's loss of any kind, I think, is so hard. I don't know. Busy week, Tomorrow, I gotta take Tucker. B. Radley had his biannual or whatever it's called. They every 6 months now check up this summer. So Tucker's is tomorrow. And then on Tuesday, they're getting groomed. And Alex is taking them to that real early in the morning. And they get like dropped off and then they get groomed during the day. And this is a new groomer that our vet recommended. And Alex talked to them like at length about like their process and what they do and stuff. We are like, I can't like, we are such dog parents. I was like, now what questions did you ask? And he was like, I just asked like, you know, do you use trimmers? Do you do this? And she was talking about this whole like way that they were trained, like they're trained to do like the grooms there or something. So anyway, it was interesting when he was telling me that. Is it like one of those trucks? I don't know what I think about those Jeep Wrangler trucks. What do y'all think about those? They're not really my favorite thing, I don't think. Like I wouldn't, like if somebody gave it to me, yes, I would love it. But like, I mean, I would drive the hell out of it. But I don't know that I would go and pick one. If I was going to drive that, I think I would rather drive a Jeep Wrangler than a Jeep Wrangler pickup truck, you know? But to each his own. It's so dark over here. See, I told you it was dark. See, it still doesn't look as dark as it does like in the camera. It doesn't look as dark as it is outside. You guys, like, it is like pitch black over here. Like, it is dark. Can you see it over there? If you no, it still looks light outside. That's crazy. I wonder why the camera picks up the light like that. Only the shadow knows. Dream. I should get online tonight and buy new batteries. That's what I should do. But I know I'll forget. The thing is, it's like when I'm filming, I know it, but like at home, like if I'm filming a video at home in the chair or wherever, like, you know, in the bedroom or outside or in the kitchen, I just go grab the next battery, you know, or the chair, wherever I might be. I just go grab the battery and I replace it. So like, I don't think, but it's when I'm vlogging and the battery dies on me that I'm like, oh, I need another battery. But then when I get home, I just go home and I take the batteries out no matter what time it is, and I just put them in the chargers, and I take the ones that are fully charged out, and then, like I go to bed is usually what I do. So I don't think like, okay, I need to sit down here and charge these batteries. Tanya Jean has been so busy the last couple days that I have not even got to see her. There is a golf cart right there for sale, a used golf cart. I would kind of love to have a golf cart, but we have nowhere to keep it. There are so many people in our neighborhood that have golf carts, and they just drive around, It would be so fun to get on it in the summer and drive to the pool. Oh my God, I would love that. But Tanya has been so busy with work. They're like, the kennel is like full. And, one of the girls that works for her, who's so sweet, she is on vacation. So Tanya's had to go in every day. I'm like, Tanya, you need to be taking care of yourself. She's like, I'm fine. She loves being around the dogs, you know. But, I mean, she stands on her feet all day long. So, I don't think it was last night. Well, one night I asked her if she wanted to get a fountain pop, and she was like, I'm in for the night. This is actually the first really nice dry day that we've had. I feel like it's rained. Well, 2 days in a row, what would that have been? Like Thursday and Friday, it like poured down rain. And then yesterday was beautiful, but it started raining really late last night, a little bit. And then today, it's been dry all day today, which is fantastic. I'm so happy about it. A lot of people have Halloween decorations out this year. Other than doing the haunted house in the garage, I'm like, I don't know that I remember if we put out Halloween decorations. Do you guys know what is so funny? So I bought this ghosty at Dollar Tree the other day when I did my like video at Dollar Tree, like walking around for Peter Does Stuff. And these people that live like right after you go like out of our neighborhood, it's like the first house on the right, like, and we're real close with the wife. Well, now I know the husband too, because I talked to him for a while at at the pool this summer. He's really nice. So anyway, but the wife has become really good friends with Alex and I because she walks a lot in the neighborhood, and so we've known her for like 8 or 9 years now. But anyway, we like pulled out, and Alex goes, oh my God, they have ghosts in their tree. And like, they've got kids that are like, their daughter's in college, their next son is like a junior in high school, I think. And then their next son is like in 9th grade in high school, freshman in high school. And then like the next son is like in 6th or 7th grade. And oh, the battery just went to the halfway mark. I can't believe it made it all this way. So I looked and I'm like, they had all these ghosts in this big tree that they have. And I was like, oh my God, Alex, those were the same ghosts that I got from Dollar Tree. They had the exact same ghosts. It wasn't all of them, but a lot of them were like the same ghosts that I had at the Dollar Tree. And I was like, for $20, you could literally buy 20 of those ghosties, and they're really pretty well made. I mean, it's just like some mesh fabric or whatever over a styrofoam ball with little eyes on it. But I mean, and then it's got these 2 legs that come out underneath it. It's not bad though, you know, with a string attached to it, and it's $1. But for $20, you could have 20 little ghosties in your tree, or 50 if you wanted to spend 50, or 100, I guess. But 10 or 20 bucks for that, you know, to make your tree look like that, there's no way they could have possibly more than 20. I mean, 20 is a lot, you know? And I was like, oh my God, it looks so nice. I should have thought of that. But I'm not gonna go back to buy all those little ghosties. But I don't remember, like, if we decorated for Halloween, like, the outside of our house when I was growing up. I don't remember it. Now, for Christmas, we had 4 crabapple trees, 2 on one side and 2 on the other in front of our house. And then we had in the middle of our yard, there was like three crabapple trees. We also had ivy, green ivy. So my house when I was growing up was white brick, but before we moved into it, like 6 months before, my dad went out with a ladder and he like etched off pieces of the paint. So it was supposed to look like a French farmhouse, and or like mixed with like a house like in the English Cotswolds. So, and they had ivy starting to grow up on it, and so the house is white brick, but you can see the red coming through, and then there's green ivy that grows all over it. So the whole front of my house had ivy growing on it. When people like would die, they'd be like, "You have," I mean, to this day, when you go by the house, it has ivy all over the front of the house, and people go crazy. They're like, oh my God, you literally, like, there's ivy growing all over your house. It was like kind of a cool concept. I don't know, like, I've never really thought of it as being different than anything else, but I guess you don't see a lot of houses that have that, you know. But the whole front of the house was all covered in ivy. So my mom would put, well, I guess I did, but when I was like in junior high, but we would put white lights on the crabapple trees out front. And I think maybe one year in the ones in the middle. And then one year, my mom, this was like when they first came out, she really liked the look of like the candles in the window. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The electric candles in the window, like one in each window. I remember like those things being like scotch taped to the windowsill. You guys, I was listening to this podcast last night. It's so horrific, right? It's about this woman that went missing. But although nobody speaks very highly of her, I can't think of what her name is, Susan something, it's in the Paper Ghost podcast, but they're talking about her, and her sister was like, oh, she was a horrible mother, and she was like, and he was like, she was, and he's like, oh, she was a horrible mother, and she was a horrible wife. Well, she beat her kid. They talk about that in there, but her sister was like, yeah, she was a horrible wife, and she never cooked, and she couldn't cook. And she said one time she made a birthday cake and she tried to fix it by gluing it, or by sticking it back together with scotch tape. And I don't know why, but I just like started laughing so hard in the car. I thought, that is such a thing that I would do. You know, like I would so try to like, okay, we're gonna make this work somehow, you know. But scotch tape, like what a fool idea. Like who put scotch tape on a birthday cake? That cracks me up so much. I don't know why that cracked me up, but it did. Oh my gosh. It is a beautiful evening out. It is currently, can you even believe it? Well, it just changed. It was 78 degrees, now it's 77 degrees. It's really warm outside. In fact, everybody at this chili thing today was like joking. They were like, we're eating chili and it's 84 degrees outside. And then they had cornbread and they had cookies and it was really nice. They so the winner of the chili cook-off got to pick whether they wanted a bottle of wine or a gift card, and she picked a gift card. And then the first runner-up, she got the bottle of wine, which I thought that was really nice that they did that, you know. So overall, it was a good weekend, busy weekend, but we had a good time. I got a lot of videos filmed. I honestly didn't think I would film videos yesterday either, but I had a lot of time because after the baby shower, I came home and I filmed a bunch of videos. So I got videos filmed on Friday, videos filmed on Saturday, the vlog, of course, the vlog of love. This is the vlog of love. Listen to the vlog of love. When I was growing up, my dad, he would make songs constantly. For example, when I had to, house sit and feed his dogs. My dad is actually the one that, I learned this from. So we feed our dogs on people plates, real plates, okay? And then we take the food and we cut it up and then we space it around. So it's little, it's like a tray with hors d'oeuvres on it. But anyway, my dad he wrote this instruction manual for how to you have no idea how my dad is with animals. I mean, he is my dad should have been a vet, seriously. And but he would make an instruction manual, and then in there you had to sing this song. He was like, they won't eat if you don't sing it to them. And it was you had to carry it to the other, because they ate on the floor in the dining room underneath the table. Don't ask me why. And you had to carry the plates in there, and as you carried them, you had to sing this song, and the song goes like this: zones of eatery, zones of eatery. And you had to sing it or the dogs wouldn't eat. And my dad would stand there and he would say, and of course I always had a friend with me, that I would bring over to do this. I can't tell you how many times my dad made me do this. And he'd say, okay, now you need to rehearse it, because I need to see that you can do it or we can't leave you in charge. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. And he goes, okay, well, we can't leave you in charge. And I'm like, Dad. And he'd start laughing and he'd be like, come on, you got to do it. And so he would make me take these stupid plates and act like I was feeding the dogs, and I had to go zones of eatery, and the little dogs would follow me in there. Zones of eatery. Anyway, silly. My dad used to give the dogs a treat too with he would take a plate and then he would put little dollops of whipped cream, not a lot, but 4 or 5 on a little thing, and he would put it down for them. That was their special treat for the day. Oh my gosh. My dad and his animal stuff kills me. Mrs. Ducky, who back in the day, he treated better than his family, because Mrs. Ducky would have her babies by the pool, and so he bought a baby crib and MacGyvered this slide with a ladder back in so she could get back into the thing, and it was all open on the side so she could nest her babies there, but then she could go down the slide into the pool, and she would swim in the pool with you. It was so crazy, this duck. And my dad named her Mrs. Ducky. I've told the story on here before, but anyway, I literally have pictures of me in the pool. He's taking a picture of me, and I'm and Mrs. Ducky is right here swimming by me. She was so sweet, and he swore, he was I think it's the same duck that comes every year. I'm like, Dad, it's not the same duck, because he did it 3 years in a row. My dad lives on the water, and he, back in the day, was not the most conventional doctor. He would have parties, and he would have all the nurses and all the techs from the hospital come out, but he wouldn't have the doctors come. It was a non-doctor party. And then so my dad lives on the lake, and so he would hook up this huge slingshot, right? And make like tons and tons and tons of water balloons. And so when people would drive by, like trying to look at the house, like during these parties, he would let people like pull a slingshot and then shoot a water balloon like out at the boats in the water. And then he would take everybody out like in different like loops, but on what he called the Love Boat cruise. I mean, my dad is so silly. He would take them out on the Love Boat cruise, and so it would be all these people, you know, that worked in the hospital, and they would go by these doctors' houses that they all knew from working with, right? And my dad would say, and this is Dr. So-and-so's house, you know, and Dr. Smith's house or whatever. And then they would go by and they would all just like chuck all the... It stopped. I couldn't believe I was at the end. And then they would chuck all these water balloons at the house. Like, can you believe that? And people at the hospital loved my dad. They just thought it was like, the doctors just thought it was the most hilarious thing. My dad's a good guy. If I get my creativity from anybody, I get, like, if I am creative, I get it from my dad. My dad's, like, always, like, projects and starting stuff and writing books. And I find stuff in the basement all the time that, like, he did for my mom, and things that he did for me when I was a kid and all kinds of stuff. You know, my dad's super, super creative. Zones of eatery. If my dad didn't go to bed so early, I would I would text my dad that when I'm done vlogging, but he's probably in bed. My dad goes to bed like really early. He's always like, there is nothing like being up really early in the morning. Like, my dad loves to be up early in the morning. He's like, there's nothing better than being up early in the morning. I'm like, okay. Now, if I'm right about this battery, I have about 6 or 7 minutes left. I don't know if I am or not. So yeah, I said to Alex today, I was like, we have a lot of stuff going on this week. He was like, we do? Like, because for Alex, it's just a normal week, because he's always got a lot of stuff that he's doing. But for me, it's like a busy week, you know? Zones of eatery. Zones of... Now I've got that song stuck in my head. Eatery. Anyway. I wonder what Tanya Jean's doing. I feel like she had something she had to do today. Maybe I'll see if she wants to go get a fountain pop. I'm sure she doesn't. I feel so bad for her. It's supposed to be warm like the next 2 days, and then it is supposed to drop like 10 degrees. Like, not super cold or warm, but it's supposed to be like upper 60s, lower 70s, and because it's been like in the 80s, upper 60s, lower 70s in the daytime, and then in like the upper 40s, lower 50s, excuse me, at night. And that's supposed to be for like the next 10 days. I was like thinking to myself, why did I have a dream that we were having snow? I like had a dream, I thought about that, but no. It was in the book that I'm listening to. They get like a snow showers or first snowfall of the year or something like that. It happens right around the murder time. You would think I would know everything about it, since I like power through these cozy mysteries. I thought I would get like really tired after the book club and I would want to lay down immediately. I can't believe I'm kind of like still going, to be honest with you. But I'm awake, like I'm not tired. Big Lots. People suggested that I go there for my Peter Does Stuff video. And right across the street is the Dollar General. I don't know that I've ever been in Dollar General before. might take a hiatus on the shopping videos for a while. Or maybe not. Who knows? I like to look at the Halloween decorations that people have, even if they're just like cardboard cutouts on their door and stuff like that. I think it's cute. I'm glad I did my front porch early this year like I did. Even though I lost a pumpkin, I'm still happy that I did it, because every day just walking up and seeing those mums and stuff makes me so happy. And it's been kind of nice to be able to sit on the front porch and see my neighbors walk by and stuff with it being warm. So it's been really nice to be out there. Now, I don't know how I'm going to outdo myself this Christmas for having the most gorgeous front porch, which we do. Nobody in the neighborhood has a lot of like, well, my neighbor across the street, because she's a master gardener, she has her entire like front walk is like landscaped beyond belief. She's always out there working on her plants. But other than her and my neighbor to our right, she's got mums out and another planter of like summer flowers, begonias, or I don't even know what they are. But anyway, impatiens, who knows? I don't know. But other than that, she doesn't have a lot. But she always puts those flags up for whatever time of year. Like they have like one of those flag things. There goes the battery. I knew it. I had about 4 or 5 minutes. Do you guys know those batteries? Do you guys know those flags that, like, you know, you change them like with every season or whatever? They're cute, right? Well, listen, I'm going to get off here now, and I'm going to go home, and I'm going to start uploading this vlog so it's ready to go early tomorrow. I can post it between 5 and 6, and I can post my other vlog. So I'm going to get off here now, and I hope that you guys are refreshed and renewed, rejuvenated, and refreshed for the week ahead. And I hope your Monday was really, really good, and the beginning of your week was really good. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And yeah, that's it. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya! Oh, and for those that want to hear it, for those that need to hear it, and for anybody else, one more I love you. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!